When we talk about transgender people, the language that we use is disenfranchised and marginalized, and that we experience extreme rates of poverty and discrimination and stigma and violence and unemployment and lack of access to healthcare and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. In that, something that gets lost is highlighting the resilience of transgender people to be able to survive with those obstacles in front of us. And my mentors really represented ultimate womanhood to me. They were authentically themselves, and they had survived so much, and yet they still found ways to laugh and live and build community and share limited resources with each other and be creative. Transgender people have a very sophisticated culture around building family and community with each other, and we've done it for decades, and it's sort of a tradition that's been passed down. And so many trans people who are new in their transition, specifically Black and brown trans women, will connect with older trans women who have lived and survived so far, and those women mentor young trans women. I was homeless in San Francisco when I first moved here, and so people like Miss Bobby Jean Baker were the ones who would check in on me and, made sure that I had a plate on Sunday at her house with my name on it, and to sort of do a wellness check and check in with her and let her know that I was okay, even in the midst of my situation, and create accountability and support. Transgender people have had to do sort of oral history with each other because our limited access to other institutions that would celebrate our history or our experiences is the reason why there's lack of documentation of who we are and have been through the decades and the centuries. Our history more recently struggles to be documented because transgender women of color, Black and brown transgender women, have limited access to the academy or academic institutions. And so most of the transgender culture that you see and the way that our experiences are articulated by white, transgender, and gender nonconforming people. This is a problem because it's erasure. And something that is important to me is to empower transgender women who are living now and celebrate the contributions of transgender women of color before us, and knowing that history has been made several times over and that we have contributed greatly to the world around us, but we just don't get acknowledged for it. So even our vernacular, like yes and honey and shade and read, and I hate saying this out loud, but it doesn't come from cis Black women. It doesn't come from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It comes from Black transgender women and Black queer men. And not just the ballroom scene, but also the Village in 1970s New York, and the Tenderloin in San Francisco in the 1960s. And that history is very rich. And we just don't get credited for it. And I think I'm exhausted of it, and other people are too, and that's why I think I keep trying to raise awareness on it. In spite of harms against us and what seems like from every side, the love that we have and the love that we're learning for ourselves and the community that we build with each other is really what keeps us going and keeps us surviving. No matter what happens, I think the unity as an LGBT community and the unity of transgender women of color together is an amazing experience, and there's nothing like it. I'm really proud to celebrate that heritage that we have inherited from people who've come before us.